Our next speaker, I had the absolute pleasure of spending an entire night that was supposed to be broadcast on Google. Thanks for breaking that night as part of a Google chat. She took and single-handedly went before the Maryland Senate and dismantled them. She sat there and made lawyers look like fools, senators look like blathering idiots, and gained the hearts of every true patriot. Eric said that I shouldn't refer to as America's sweetheart. But America's sweetheart needs to be smart, stand up for her country, and stand up for her morals. So when I say that, it is with the deepest respect that I introduce to you the next senator from the state of Maryland at age 15. We got to wait 3 years, Sarah. Where are you? Where'd she go? Oh, there she is. The next senator from the state of Maryland, Sarah Merkle.
Well, I'm just going to keep it short, but my name's Sarah Merkle. For those of you who don't know me, I'm 15 years old, and even I'm old enough to know that gun control is only going to make our country's situation worse. I fear for my generation, and I don't like where it's going. Thank God we have Noah here to save us. He restores hope in me for a little bit, but
Sarah, hit the mic a little more.
I was talking to my friend earlier today, and I go, she goes, "You want to hang out?" And I'm like, "I don't know, I have to go to a pro-gun rally. Maybe not till later." She goes, "What's that?" I don't think we can talk for a while. I think I might bring her to the range with me tomorrow. I know about all the tragedies that have been happening in America, and I have the utmost sympathy for everything that's been going on. I want to reach out to all of the victimized families that have had to be put through these terrible times in our nation. But what they're doing with this legislation is a knee-jerk reaction. It's something that's not going to get us anywhere. It's not going to help our country. It's not going to make us safer. It is not a solution. I do feel bad for them. I have the most sympathy I could, but no amount of sorrow could ever get me to condone the removal of my rights. Limiting the availability of guns and firearms in our nation is not going to eliminate the motives for the criminals to kill. And that's what it is. It is the criminal's motive to kill. It is not the gun. Guns are inanimate objects incapable of murder. People always try to tell me that guns are violent and that it's unsafe, and apparently they just come up and attack you. I've been going to shooting ranges for a long time now, ever since I could first hold a gun. I have seen one injury, one, the entire time I've been at my shooting ranges. And that was, we were waiting for a match to start, a kid pulls out his pocket knife, tries to sharpen it, his hand slips, and he's headed to the ER. But it's the guns that are the problem. Let's ban those. Now, according to the logic of our senators, we have to ban these military-grade, high-capacity assault knives because they might hurt us. I'm just waiting for that bill to reach office. I'd love to hear that. I mean, it's like I said, it's not the guns, it's the people. People kill people. Guns don't kill people. And it's like Ted Nugent said, if guns kill people, then mine are defective. And you don't need guns to kill either. I mean, there are a large percentage of murders that happen every year as what the FBI classifies as hands, fists, and feet. Are we going to ban those too? What about car accidents? What are we going to do to restrict that from happening? Criminals don't follow laws. In fact, they're defined as criminals because they don't follow laws. So what is it going to do to make more laws trying to restrict criminals from breaking laws? It's not going to get us anywhere. No piece of legislation, no law, nothing written down on a piece of paper that our government hands to people is going to get criminals to surrender their guns. It's not going to stop them. That's like saying, well, yeah, let's make murder illegal. Let's make harmful narcotics and drugs illegal. Then it'll all go away. It doesn't. It doesn't work like that. Laws don't stop the black market. They don't stop illegal trade. It just stops law-abiding citizens. You can't stop these kinds of problems before they occur. You can't tell somebody that they're not allowed to talk. You can't restrict their freedom of speech just because they're going into a movie theater and they might shout fire. Similarly, you can't take away everybody's guns thinking that one day somebody might misuse them. It doesn't work. I find the proposals to restrict my rights and remove guns from my home sickening. People try to tell me all the time, like my friend that doesn't know what a pro-gun rally is. People say that, well, gun control's for safety. It's for the safety of our nation. Where's the safety in that? Where's the safety in taking away our only form of self-defense? How are you helping us? You're leaving us vulnerable. The government is taking it away and leaving us vulnerable. The only thing it's going to lead to is more attacks and more murder. They're trying to criminalize law-abiding citizens for protecting ourselves and our families. Everything you ever read anywhere, any sort of guide, always ensures that you should be able to protect yourself and your family. I would challenge you to find one moral or legal code anywhere, from any place, that tells you that you should not have the right to defend yourself or your family in the face of danger. Find it. I dare you. And by what stretch of the imagination is this considered constitutional? How could this ever be considered constitutional? I just want to point out, for those of you who don't know already, that it is the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It doesn't say shall not be taken away, because it's not a yes or no thing. They're not trying to complete, we're working on it. We're working on it getting completely taken away, but people will stand there and they'll tell me, well, you can still have some guns. Yeah, the ones that you can't shoot the broadside of a barn if you're standing at the front of it. When is that gonna help us? Oh, or you could have Joe Biden's signature shotgun that won't go through drywall. Those are helpful. My rights are not debatable. I will not argue them. They are not questionable. They are inalienable rights. Now, I don't care where you came from today, what state you're from. I don't care if you're left-wing, right-wing, libertarian. You could be independent, moderate, or a member of the Green Party. If you are an American citizen, you should support the rights of American citizens. Every single American citizen should oppose gun control legislation. It is not constitutional. It is against everything we believe in as Americans. Unless you're a senator. Guns are for defense. They're to help us. They're to help us protect against each other, and more importantly, they're to help protect us and our rights against the government. Now, I, for one, will not stand here and see my rights be taken away in front of me and not do anything about it. Will you? No. Thank you.
My name is Dan Blasberg. I am the Vice President of Maryland Shall Issue, and I would like to welcome everybody to the first annual 2A Tuesday. We hope to make this an annual event. The idea behind this event is to turn as many people out to remind our legislators, our elected officials, that last year was not a fluke. Last year was not a flash in the pan. We are here. We will continue to be here. We will continue to speak for our civil rights for the Second Amendment. With that, I would like to introduce our first speaker, Ms. Sarah Merkle, who is the Secretary of the Maryland Rifle Association. She is also a very proficient high-powered rifle shooter. She's much better than I am. And she spoke very eloquently, not once, but twice last year in front of the House and the Senate. So with that, I give you Sarah Merkle.
Hi, thanks for the welcome. Just wanted to remind everybody that it's very important that we're here today. And of all the things, I know for all the things that I would have been doing this week, this is the most important. Ladies and gentlemen, for me personally, I can say that I'm not here for guns today. And that sounds weird, but I'm not. It's not that simple. It's not as simple just to say we're here for a simple inanimate object. We are here for the Constitution and to keep the foundation of our nation strong. The problem is larger than us. It's larger than just our guns, and now it's larger than even the words on a paper. It has come to the point where we realize our legislators, or most of them, are not representing us. And that's a problem that we need to fix. Our legislators like to tell us that our rights have limits. And in a way they do. Their favorite example is that you can't shout fire in a crowded movie theater. Well, as long as we're comparing our First and Second Amendment rights, I'd like to point a few things out. First of all, just because you can't shout fire in a crowded movie theater doesn't mean they strap duct tape over your lips and tell you can't ever talk at all, because somebody might misuse their right. That, of course, being said, you shouldn't legislate away the right to bear arms and have guns just because somebody might misuse it at some point in their lives. And second of all, if you think about it, the reason the First Amendment isn't usually as much of a problem as people like to think that the Second Amendment is because from a very young age, ever since you were born, you were always educated on how to and how to not use your First Amendment right. People taught you the golden rule, to treat people the way you wanted to be treated. That if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And I think that's why some people aren't here to speak to their legislators today. But maybe that's just me. But it's because of those things, it's because of that education that people don't create so much of a problem with their First Amendment right, that we know, that we teach our children. When you go to school, you're supposed to be nice to people. You don't tell them that they're never allowed to talk around you, that they can't socialize with their friends, that they can't go and confront their teachers about something because they might insult them or say something offensive. You educate them. So why are we not doing the same thing with our Second Amendment? And likewise, we tell our children when they go to school that if in the off chance that somebody does insult you, they do use that right to say something against you, to make you feel bad about yourself. You tell them how to avoid that, to be the bigger person, how to stand against this person without abusing either of your rights and still solving the problem. But our legislators seem to think that instead of letting us use the Second Amendment in the same way, where we can use our Second Amendment to protect ourselves when other people infringe upon that right or try to take it from us, to take ourselves, our lives, our families' lives away from us, that we should just stand there. And if you stand there long enough, the person with the firearm will just lay it down and walk away. But I don't think that's right. We need to take a stand, and we need to let them know that this is our Second Amendment right, and they can't take it away. And if you do come upon the chance where you're trying to take our lives, we will use it against you. senators sometimes seem to realize that you can't just legislate or create a piece of legislation that bans a mental illness. You can't tell people they can't live in your society and eat and breathe next to you because they have aggressive tendencies or a mental illness or they're depressed. You can't get rid of those things from the society, but you can protect other people against the effects of that. So even if you were able to take away guns from all those people, all you're going to do is create the problems that you see in other nations who do have strict gun control, where they go around stabbing people with knives and screwdrivers. That doesn't fix the problem. Sure, taking away guns might reduce gun-related crimes, but if somebody hurts me or my family, I don't care what they hurt us with. I care that I lost somebody. I'm not looking for you just to get rid of gun-related crimes. I want all violent crimes to be done with. I want to know that I am safe no matter where I go or who I'm with, because there are people around me who are armed who can take care of themselves. And let me tell you right now, gun control did not save the lives of the people in Columbia Mall like an educated and responsible firearm owner would have. And until you can get your gun control laws and guarantee me safety no matter where I go with your little piece of paper, I don't want to hear about it, because I'm not buying into it. My rights don't exist so that somebody in a suit in a building can vote on them and agree or disagree with whether or not they should be there. My Second Amendment right, our Second Amendment right, isn't for us to see. It's for the politicians to see and be forewarned of what will happen if they try to take it away. Those first 10 amendments at the end of the Constitution that they like to ignore is not a bill of privileges. It's a bill of rights. So I want to thank everybody for coming today, and I want to encourage you guys to go speak to your legislators, go talk to them, your friends, your family. Let people know that this is an issue, and it is not an issue that we're willing to stand for.